I'm your host, Dr. Hale. I'm founder of Facepay, and I have with me two great individuals. First is Phil Jackson joining us from Pit Crew Marketing, Head of Business Development. Phil, I don't know if you'd like to say a quick word about you and your company.
Yeah, good. Like you said, good morning, good afternoon to everybody. Happy to be joining Dr. Hale and Matthew here. Subscriptions is a very interesting model, one that goes in hand with what we believe here at Pit Crew, that if you look after your loyal customer base, that's plenty of work for you and keeping consistent. So love the idea of subscriptions, love the idea of just generally taking care of that customer and giving that ease of access. So really excited to discuss this topic this morning.
Just great mutual interaction. Thank you for joining us, Phil. And the other person I've asked to join us is Matthew Greco, a superstar in success. And we just came back from Super Conference, hundreds of shops, and he's going to share some of the interaction through the webinar today. And Matthew, if you can introduce yourself, it'd be great.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Hale. Yeah, I've been at Facepay now for 3 years, and I love talking with all the service teams and owners across the country. Had a really great time last week at the ATI Super Conference, seeing a lot of the clients we work with, and excited to hopefully work with some of you guys watching this now.
That's awesome. So why don't we go and get started? And the reason I'm so excited with everyone is just to share something leading, which is subscriptions. And if you make things easy for your customers, you'll build that loyalty. They'll want to come back to you. What I've learned from shops, right, that I really appreciate is you want to see customers again because you truly believe that you can service their vehicles, that they'll last longer. You care about them and their cars, right? And Matthew will share with you, and you talk to service advisors, they really do like solving these issues for customers, right? Building that loyalty, and you want the cars running. And I appreciate that about the owners on the webinar and all of our customers, right? It's genuine. So we look at subscriptions from this genuine viewpoint of offering a service to customers. Now, something I've learned that we frequently think about subscriptions, we'll get into it, a three-tier plan. What are they signing up for? But it's so important. Matthew, if you could share the next slide. Thank you. Before you offer a subscription and the tiered plans that we all think about, is you need to make it easy for your customers to do business with you. And a customer's perception, right, is it easy to bring in the vehicle? Do I understand what's going on? Do I know when I can get it? And do they make it easy to pick it up? This ease and convenience is what's going to drive subscriptions, right? It's going to drive loyalty to your shop. If you make any of those difficult, they're going to look at you and other shops to go back to for their next service. And they don't believe they can have subscriptions fulfilled. Say ease, convenience is the number one indicator. One is your customer satisfaction, but second is, have you earned the right to offer a subscription to these customers? As much as you feel they want it, they have to believe it's going to be easy to have that subscription fulfilled. If you go to our website or heard any talks earlier, you get a lot of interesting feedback. Right, it's very provocative. Stop trying to delight your customers. We're so focused on satisfaction reviews, and all shops now arguably are between 4 and 5 stars, which is great work. But it's not a differentiator, and customers are more finicky now about did they have to put in effort to come get their cars, right? And you can see that from Gartner, right? And it's our own true feelings. If you make it hard, customers are disloyal. They're going to go look up someone else and make competitive with you before they bring it back in. Let me just pause here. Customer effort is such a driver to subscriptions and the loyalty that underlies it. I want to ask Matthew, because we just got back from the conference and engaging in shops, is what did you find in the way service teams and their customers look at effort in a way you could roll out our platform is called Express as a basis for subscription? So Matthew, if you like to talk a little bit about that, would be great.
Yeah, so what's great about the FacePay Express platform and taking a step back is we found that, service teams as well as customers are both super busy. So there's a lot of work that your service team has to do throughout the day. They're constantly creating estimates and looking for parts. And we found they're usually busiest in the afternoons and evenings, especially later in the week. That's why when they're trying to close out a lot of those tickets, and that's also the same time when customers usually really busy. They're, leaving home from work, they're trying to pick up their kids, they're trying to make it home for dinner. And so we found this is the time when both the service team and the customer is really busy and they really value convenience and that whole express experience. And so this is where FacePay really works best is in your existing workflow and where you're texting with your customers, you can put the FacePay template link in there. And that way all the customers will receive it and be prompted to create an account. And the messaging is around, please connect to our shop so you can have an express checkout and expedited pickup. And so on the customer side, then that saves them time. So they've already paid before they come get their vehicle. And then when they come into the shop, they can just pick up their keys, paperwork, and leave. And it also works great on the service team side because then they're not having to worry about how they're going to collect payment from every customer when they come get their vehicle. And as I said, they can just give them the keys and paperwork because they've seen that notification that, the customer paid with FacePay.
And what's the reception been by service teams when they use this process, right? It sounds easier. Do they believe that? Are they working it through? What work do they have to do?
Yeah. So on the service team side, it's really just that first time of putting in the link and message into their system and then just monitoring and seeing the customers as they connect or pay. And then with some customers, they can click them out or check them out in the click of a button. With others, they send them a text to pay. But overall, what we're seeing from service teams is that they really value the convenience. And obviously, for everyone listening who's an owner, the benefit of using FacePay because you'll be saving those fees. But for the service teams, that's a question we get the most is what's in it for them? And one of the big things that I really want to emphasize is it'll save them time when they're most busy. And that's something that, day after day and week after week is going to be really beneficial for them.
Got it. So yeah, you save this time, but at the same time, these customers are busy, which ties into this effort, right? Keeps them loyal. What's interesting at effort, I'm gonna go, if we could advance one slide, because this is what I had picked up on Pit Crew marketing. I'm gonna just guide everybody, look to the bottom of the bullets is total customer care, right? So as we start to look at our 3-tiered plan as an example here, and this one is an oil change with brakes. They had different frequencies. Because it's important to include the level of effort that you take care of your customers, and that's what total customer care is. And then pick this up from Phil at Pit Crew Marketing, right? A great description at describing that we made it easy for you, and we're going to take care of you for your next time and every time you come in. So, Phil, can you talk about total customer care a little bit from Pit Crew Marketing's perspective?
Yeah, and I think we touched on a great word here that kind of ties the two together. And you guys keep talking about a differentiator, right? When we're talking about our rewards card program and our loyalty program, and you guys are talking about a subscription platform, what is it that differentiates our shop versus other shops, other competitors? What keeps us top of mind? The subscription model is a monthly fee. What we do on our sides is that incremental balance reminders, right? So we take them from that journey from even when they're in the shop, but when they leave the shop as well, we've got this timeline where we communicate with them, soft touches via text message. That again is just that differentiator. I have X amount on my rewards card balance, therefore I'm going to go to Jeff's Auto Repair versus anywhere else, right? So we're all talking about keeping your customers not on the hook. That sounds terrible, but giving them this, again, total customer care that leads them back to your shop and guides them towards a behavior we're trying to get from them, right? And there's ways we do that, and there's ways a subscription platform would do that. I think it's a tremendous differentiator, and I also think this is a good point to notice. You guys all have different levels of customers. You all have different types of customers to the point where we rank them with regards to A through F, right? Your A customers being your VIP customers, the ones with potentially multiple vehicles that come in over and over again. They might be a candidate for your premium, $75 a month, right? So all they want to know is they're going to get taken care of when they come into the shop. And we talk about this, again, this total customer care. We are able to rank with data on potentially who you would go after for these certain types of subscription, right? So guide you in the way that, this customer might be a great fit for our basic package, right? Because they might not commit to all the declined services that we're asking, but they are coming in regularly, right? So they might see value in them paying $25 a month to get the oil change reminders and get them taken care of, right? From your end, you get to see them 3-4 times a year, which is the goal, right? The more you see them, the more we lead into the salesperson. And the big thing that we do, that we see, is you guys are using so much money on marketing to get them into this channel. When we lose them on a one and done, and this is the thing at Pit Crew that we really, really value ourselves on, a rewards card, a loyalty program, and a subscription platform all keeps that customer coming back 2, 3, 4 times a year, which is the whole goal. We don't want to waste our time. We don't want to waste our effort on the customer that is coming in for a one-time oil change. Of course, we give them the same service. But if we know ahead of time that this is a VIP customer, this is a guy that we're going to be seeing, this is a guy that we're going to have to wow, that's what we pride ourselves on. And that's what we found is, from our end, giving a little bit back to the customer. You guys are talking about giving back time. We're also giving back rewards to them for their loyalty, where we're guiding that behavior that we want from our top customers. So I think it's a very interesting topic. I think it goes hand in hand. So our whole goal is to reduce, again, that one and done customer, because you've spent so much time acquiring them. We want to keep them within your channels, within your communication platform, and thus potentially on a subscription platform. So,
Bill, as we prepared for this call, you use this term one and done, right? It sounds harsh, but it's reality.
yeah.
And what I picked up after we talked, it's so easy to blame the customer, one and done. They just came in, they got the service, and they're gone. And you just described all this marketing we do to acquire them.
Yep.
What's interesting to me is this is the touch, right? Is if they've got to come into your shop and you're late and they're paying and it's hard to get their car, that's your last touch point, that customer. And there's stuff we're doing to push them to one and done. And that's what I heard from Matthew earlier about Express. Make it easy for the car to get, or for the customer to get their vehicles after hours, pay before they get there. The last touch points, shaking your hand, thank you, right? And cleaning it rather than a big payment, or I got to hurry back to work, and they tune you out. Right?
I agree. I think there's some form of accountability on the shop side for that, some pride in, what are we doing to wow the customer? What are we doing to make their experience of going to the automotive repair shop used to be a terrible experience. Now, because of the good shops we're dealing with, it's become a much more pleasant experience. But what are we leaving with them other than a bill? How are we leaving that experience, right? If we're leaving them where we save them 25 minutes so they can go pick up their kid in time or get home to dinner to their family, people are willing to pay for that now more than ever. They're willing to pay for the convenience and they're willing to pay for that experience. And even it sounds interested to talk about a customer experience of going through an automotive repair, but you can what are you doing at the shop to wow them and leave them with that positive experience? Because we know as well, we have a referral program on our side where, again, we can see the good customers. Who's the customer you want to be referring friends? Because we talk about Google reviews, which is every shop now has, the ones that we're dealing with, are 4 or 5-star reviews all online. If you are wowing a customer with their experience, they might not put a 5-star review, but they might tell 10, 15 people, right, about their experience. And those are the customers that we want to encourage to come in. And again, once we get them in, creating that wow experience and getting them on the platform of some form of subscription or like we do with the loyalty rewards. So,
as Kim Hickey would say, an ATI coach, a true friend, you only have one chance to wow your customer, right? And that change from one and done to repeat loyal customer.
And I think everybody on this call already knows this, but it's still good to reiterate that it costs a lot less to keep an existing customer than acquire a new one. And you'll have far more profitable tickets if you're able to keep a loyal customer who comes in time and time again, because then the additional, like loyalty marketing cost is essentially zero, because you already have all your systems in place that are going to send them the reminders and going to send them the text to come back in. And if they've had that good experience to begin with, then they're going to, be loyal, because it is more work on their end to then go find another shop for their next service need. So they are looking for some place that they can have a good relationship with. And if you provide them that experience that Phil talked about, then they're going to be very likely to give you that business.
And keeping them loyalty and coming in, and just going back to Express, right? Is we're so dependent on our cars, right? In a time without it. And that's why it becomes so important to be able to get it, and that builds loyalty. Phil, before we go to the next slide, which is about how we fulfill subscriptions, because it's something interesting here about how much marketing we do. Before we talk about that, I want to touch on one other thing about total customer care. Is you have a number of shops when we prepare for this that offer like 5% discount, right? You come in, we'll give you 5% discount. The interesting touch point with Facepay, direct banking, they sign up, is you're already saving 2 to 2.5 points using text to pay against that. So you don't have to have all the outlying costs associated with the loyalty program. You can make some up in Facepay.
Yeah, I think there's value in that, right? And it's not to most of our shops are around about that 3%, which is what you talked about with the processing fees. It's not necessarily about that dollar amount, but they want to feel like you're earning their business too, right? You're giving them something back. And the beauty of what we do is, it's only used. We keep referring to that one and done. If they've got a balance on their card, they're much more likely to come back to see you versus anyone else. If they've got even $20, $21 on their card and they get a reminder, it keeps them top of mind. And it's that differentiator between, again, you versus JW down the street, right? It really is that differentiator. And one of the things we're seeing as well, and I know you guys are big on this as well, Dr. Hale, is the social impact and the giving back to the community. So again, we pride ourselves on your social impact as a shop, and many ATI shops that we deal with are very much like this and giving back. So we have a portion in our side that you're able to, in theory, have a crowd fundraiser that people are able to donate their rewards to something that's important to the shop, that's important to the local community. I've always believed it, and it's easy to say. Jeff, our founder and CEO, he's so big on this social impact side that he believes that you give back to your community, something that's close to your heart. Talk about marketing and almost free marketing and good business. It's not just giving back to your community. People get wind of that, and that's your marketing right there, right? You're giving back to the little league that one of your loyal customers comes in, and you're encouraging your customers to donate. It's just this feel-good factor that goes back around, and it really does come back to you as a shop. And I think, again, that's one of the things a bunch of the top shops in general, top shops do. I know the top shops at ATI do, but that's, to me, is again the thing that differentiates us as a business and you guys as a business, is that feel-good factor, and we all contributing to the local community. So
Phil, it's so interesting you say that, because I introduced Mary Kelly as the keynote on Saturday morning at the ATI Super Conference. What I shared with everybody is our customers coming up, and it's interesting because we're pirates of profit, right? We want to crush fees, chargebacks. This year's the year of kickbacks, right? We just want to crush that. Auto shops work hard, and that money should be back into your business, right? It's your own profitability they're hurting. But there's interesting through the show to learn so many shops took that and the good they did with it, right? Yeah. Back to the community. We had at least 15 shops that are paying for their employees' health care with the savings. That's just, it's heartfelt, it's warm. That's where you make a difference.
It's life-changing for people.
It is, right?
It's life-changing for people, employees. And again, you make more money doesn't mean anybody's being greedy. I think it gives you that power to give back and really pull everybody up. And when that's what we found with shops that do this, you're talking about a loyal customer, which we've been talking about this whole webinar. That is the thing that ties you together. That people forgive mistakes on the automotive front. People forgive certain things. If you are tied to the local community and people feel they're doing business with good people, they will keep coming back to you over and over again. They'll not go to the dealer who, you know, that's just the way it works. So
provide great service, making it easy. And
yeah,
Phil, at the conference, we participated together in a round table. And the final part of all this one was you have to make it easy to earn the privilege offer subscription to your customers, right? That's what the tipping point of loyalty is, from your one and done to a loyal customer.
Yeah.
The second is we just showed is we'll help you. We have templates for tiered plans. We offer them on our website, or if you get in contact, we'll give you the tiered plans that you can offer. But the final part of this magic, there's an aha moment that you talked about, is customers are being bombarded with marketing from your shop. I sat in a panel about a year ago now in Cancun, and I got up in front of a panel with 17 vendors on the panel, and they talked about customer journey and they had 29 steps on it. My observation there is the customer only knew their brake light was on, right? Or their check engine light was on. And I've got to come in for service and I'm being bombarded with 29 steps, when really I just had a check engine light. So maybe just rethink a little bit about customer effort is go back to the basics. And then when I talk about make it easy to pick up is, and I ask anybody, if you think of a better term, I've been searching one, I call it drip subscriptions. And this is a tie between what I realized, you fulfill subscription, but it's really loyalty, right? And the best thing you can do, and we all get it, is each month I get a note that Netflix, thank you so much. We just renewed your subscription in $19.99. And you get one every month. It's friendly. Think about from an auto shop that's on a call today is, rather than all the marketing, you're thanking the customer for their loyalty, letting them know they just paid, that's friendly, letting them know when the next oil change is due and they're ready. All they need to do is reply to that text. They don't need to go anywhere. What we find is a massive trend right now of customers looking up texts that they had gotten from you in their last visit and going there to schedule rather than go find you. It's the easiest way to do it. So now if you look, subscriptions naturally fill the marketing that a customer wants. Simple, you just paid. If I have a light on, I can schedule, and then I know my next service. That's the best thing you can do. You don't necessarily need coupons, a lot of information about vehicles. You just tell them the recommendations, any advisories coming out, and on your side, loyalty points. Hey, there's a storm coming. If you need wiper blades, you can go get those installed for you under your program free of charge.
Yeah.
Right? Enough points. So this is where tied in called drip subscriptions every month, being a low touch front and center. And when that check engine lights on, text is right there. Right?
Yeah.
Got them at the right time.
It's how with the marketing, it's how do you stay top of mind without being annoying, right? You know, we talk about it, this, you know, we have a similar thing to that with the balance reminders, right? The incremental balance reminders. They may not need service at that particular point, but it's just that touch point that they might say, oh, you know, again, it's that differentiator between, we're not selling each time we're communicating with them, and we're also not communicating with them every week, you know, like it just, people don't want to hear from you at that stage, but they want to know you're there, especially if they've had that great experience with you. They know you're there, and at that time in need where you potentially could be looking for service, it's a soft touch. And I think you put that very well. It's a thank you, right? It's a thank you for your business. Here is what you got. And same, we do it with the balance reminders. You're telling them what they've got. You're telling them, you know, you have $26 to spend when you're ready. You know, we're not like, you got $26 to spend, we need you to come in tomorrow. It's that top of mind that keeps the customer coming back and keeps the customer happy. So
you just touched on, right, is you're sending out regular balance at intervals is top of mind. And just so everyone knows, Matthew had talked about it earlier with Facepay. You may ask, well, does Facepay integrate? Right? Do we integrate with Pit Crew? If you have tech metrics, do we integrate with them? And the answer is yes, we do, because we made it simple to tie into your communications platform. You're already communicating with those customers, and as simple as you do a Facebook share, use the same social links. So if you have Pit Crew Marketing's loyalty platform, you put our link inside of those existing communications to fulfill the subscriptions. So we tie together. If you have your welcome messages coming from Tech Message and Tech Metrics, we give you those templates and a link sits in there, right? So all the different types of software we integrate by integration in your communication platform to customers, because we don't want to send them yet another one. We want to put it in there so it looks cohesive rather than disjoint with your shops. And this is so important for customers. Don't bombard them, right? Tie subscriptions into loyalty. And that is an aha moment for us. So, yeah. Just thank you. This is wrapping up presentations. Matthew, do you want to see if there are any questions? And then if I could, we just in recap, we covered, first of all, efforts, everything for subscription, right? Did you make it easy for your customers? You'll save money. Your service advisors save time on their busiest day of the week, Friday pickups, right? We'll save at least an hour a day. Going from there, we offer tier plans, straightforward to understand. We see them in all subscription behavior, but finalize, how do you fulfill these subscriptions, right? And building in a loyalty program, total customer care is a great way to do that. So recap there. If Matthew had any questions, now we can.
Didn't see any questions.
All right, that's great. I noticed a number of the shops are existing customers and the new ones all welcome. And we'll follow up with you from here. Phil, thank you for taking your time today. It's great to see you again last week.
Yeah, great to see you guys, and great to see some of the awesome shops out there. So keep doing your thing, keep wowing your customers, find a way to turn those one and done customers into fans. That's the way I'll leave you. So I feel that's
fans, right?
Yeah.
We'll all be champions. And Matthew, thank you for sharing what you learned in success with our customers. It was heartfelt last week, the difference we're making. So thank you.
Yeah.
Have a great day.
Thank you all. Have a good day.
Bye-bye. Thank you.